All right. Hi, everybody. Ah, what a class I have planned for you today. Welcome in to session 3, which is always exciting because it's our journey time. But tonight's journey, we kind of designed it together. Do you remember? Earlier in the month. And I'll refresh for you what we're doing tonight. But I'm so excited. It's a very important journey for me personally. I was very intentional when I was gathering my tools tonight, and I'm so excited. And in case you missed the news, because quite a few people have written in so far today and said, oh my God, I had no idea the next year's programs were launching today. So if you missed my live today or the live readings, the 2022 Soul Shift and Crystal Masters programs are now open for registration. I'll spend a few minutes at the end of class just making sure you have everything you need to go and register, which is really exciting if you're continuing. And what's crazy is if you're not continuing, we have one more session after tonight before your time with me is complete. So either way, if you're continuing, I'm super excited for next year. And if you're winding down your time, you have me tonight and next week, which is our graduation ceremony. Your memberships for December have been canceled. Hopefully you noticed that because there's new programs and you do have to register. If you want to continue, you have until December 31st to register. And again, if you missed my live today or any of the emails or anything that have come around, I'll give you more of the 411 when we get together. Yeah, I mean, it looks like a lot of people have already signed up for next year's program. So I'm really excited that you guys are feeling connected to what we're doing. And so at the end of class tonight, I will go into greater detail and then send you off to the website where you can register. The link is the same, sagegoddess.com/programs is where you go to register. And I'm excited. Honestly, I can't wait for next year, but I'm still very much like in the work of this moment too, so I don't want to take away from tonight too much. That's why I want to save conversations about next year for the end of tonight. But yes, isn't it amazing? Like for some of you, these are your final classes. Our graduation is next week, and then Soul Shift for this year is complete, and Crystal Masters for this year is already complete. So I just want to say thank you. If this is your last week with me, I just want to say thank you for being with me this year. I'm super grateful. I hope you've learned a lot and have enjoyed your growth. You'll be able to stay in the Facebook group until the 31st of December, and that's when, on New Year's Eve and January 1st is when we make the change. So anyway, if you want to continue in programs, you do have to register. Otherwise, you have till the 31st to be in our Facebook groups. And of course, we have class next week, and then. This the bag is for everybody who signs up for the annual membership in Soul Shift. I'll show you that at the end of class tonight. My team and I designed this. Alexis and Brooklyn and Claire and I were like, if we were going to design the ultimate medicine bag to travel with your tools, what would that look like? So anyway, I'm glad you're excited. I'm excited. And next year is going to be a natural extension of the work we've been doing this year. It's like a double click. So it's just going to seem kind of seamless if you're continuing. But either way, I'm always like happy for the comings and happy for the goings, because if you're not continuing, you're probably moving on to something else that matters to you, and I think that's great too. And then I have my lifers who are going to be with me for probably for as long as I do what I do. And I do try to keep it exciting because I do know that so many of you continue, and so I don't repeat content ever. I just always do something new. I don't repeat journeys. I don't repeat content. I really try to keep it always fresh and exciting because there are so many of you who keep going, and I think that's really cool. And I don't ever want you to feel like, well, she already taught me that. So that's why I keep learning and I keep growing, and I'm journeying over the winter break, which will be really cool to go in and get some good wisdom and bring that back for the collective. So stay tuned. I know. Well, don't worry. Anyway, we'll talk all about that at the end. Can I bring you back to tonight's journey? Because it actually is a super important journey for you. It's an important journey for me. I'm very excited about it. And I have a song I want to play for you tonight, too. I normally don't do that. I'm hoping, the reason I don't play music, and it's funny because music is such an important part of my spiritual work. I mean, it is. Any journey, any classes I take always have some kind of musical component. But when I'm live, I can't play music for the most part because, there's copyright and all the kinds of things, and we don't want to upset people. And anyway, I don't think this song is copyrighted, so I think I can play it for you. And I put it on the Soul Shift playlist. There's a playlist for you guys over on SoundCloud. Maybe you don't know that. There is. There's a curated playlist called Soul Shift. I've got a lot of playlists over there, but there is one just for you guys. And I did add the song I'm going to play for you to that playlist. And I'll explain why I chose the song and all of that. I don't know what medicine I'm working with yet, so I'll keep you posted. It might be ayahuasca. I'm not sure yet. Yeah. So, want to ring our bell? Want to ring my bell? There we go. I'm so happy we have our bells. So session 3 is in progress now. I do want to tell you, in case you missed the first classes of the month, right? You guys are so sweet. And Sarah, I believe that you're serious, so we'll have to talk about that. Sarah gave me a beautiful invitation today during readings. And cheers to you guys who have registered today. I'm genuinely excited for our journey. It's going to be a different journey next year, and I'm really thrilled. If you're feeling called to it, I think that's just really cool, and I'm glad. So you need a crystal for tonight, darling. Now, it doesn't have to be like a crystal you hold. It can be your magician pendant, okay? We are going to the Golden Temple tonight to activate what's called the Golden Body. And it's the final journey of our year of alchemy, and I really sat with, like, how do I pull all of this together and create an experience for you that's going to be worthy, in a way, of the incredible work that you've done this year. I'm in awe of you. I'm inspired by you. I really am. I'm proud of you, and I don't mean that to sound condescending, but like, truly, as your soul sister, I'm just really proud of you. You've overcome some intense odds this year, and you haven't lost faith, you haven't lost your focus, you haven't lost your vision, you know what I mean? Or if you did, you came right back, you found your way back, which ultimately is the gift of alchemy, right? And so tonight isn't our graduation, that's next week, but I do think there's real value in coming together one more time this year, right? For the magic of what we call the magnum opus, right? We've now traversed the 7 stages of alchemy, and coming out of the final stage of this process, what we call this is the magnum opus, which means the great work. And the great work in alchemy is transforming metals that are not gold into gold, right? Taking something that doesn't have value, at least in our perceptual view, right? Like, and finding that there is value. Looking at, and by the way, like, I was really reflecting on this today and this morning when I was finishing up my preparation for class and my notes and everything. I was thinking about how what alchemy really is the ability to look at the parts of you and the parts of your life and the parts of your past that you think, oh, I'd rather forget about that, or I wish that hadn't happened to me, or oh, I don't like that about myself. And it's re-examining those moments and experiences and energies and actually seeing that they do have value. Even the parts of you that are tricky have value and have worth, and I extend this view to my entire life. Like, I'm always interested in, like, what people discard, whether it's socially, where certain groups are marginalized in society, or it's energetically, where we think, oh, I've got to banish that, or I've got to repress that, or I've got to extract that, remove that, burn that. I'm always interested in, especially through the lens of alchemy, can we create a space for those things to have value and to have meaning and to have purpose, right? And it gives us a different way of looking at what we think is not valuable, because once we run it through the filter of alchemy, we recognize that, like, no, there's still really good stuff in there, right? Those painful experiences Yeah, Colin put it really beautifully. She said, this is such deep and subtle work. And I think the subtlety is where we get caught sometimes, because these shifts that happen in an alchemical setting, I will tell you, I think you'll have more profound, like, concrete shifts next year than you did this year. This year it's subtle and it's a little bit subterranean. Next year, some of these intuitive gifts are going to get awakened in you, and you're going to go like, holy shit, I had no idea. Like, you'll have these big aha moments next year. Alchemy is not that. I think Colin is right. It's subtle, and yet it's profound when you see the broader impact, right? Because if you've done your work this year, and you have, you're going to find that the ebb and the flow of life, right? The come and the go of life, the way that humans treat humans, for example, and the mistakes that we make, are just not going to land the same way with you. You know, they're gonna be run through this filter now of like, no, you know, I'm not just going to write that off or wish that away or pretend that didn't happen or ignore that part of myself or my marriage or my partnership or my professional life. I'm going to actually find a way to weave that into the fabric, into the matrix, and see if there's still something there that I can learn from or benefit from in some way. Yeah, well, my neighbors, yeah, if you haven't been with me for a little while, my neighbor's house is under construction, so it does tend to quiet down around 5 p.m. I love them so much, and they've lived in that house for 32 years, I think. These are people in their late 60s. I adore them. The minute COVID hit, they're both pediatricians. They came over, what can we do? How can we help you guys? Are the kids okay? We have food if you need it. And we did the same thing with them. And so anyway, it's been their dream to fix up their house, and they're finally doing it. They were like, COVID taught us there's no time like the present. We've been putting this off forever. So they are remodeling their house and making it into their dream home. And I'm so excited for them. Like, it makes me teary because their house has been really run down, and they're giving this gift to each other in such a sacred time of their life. So anyway, if the noise bothers you, I apologize, but it bothers me too. But at the same time, I'm so happy for them to make this little dream come true. I love my neighbors. Part of the reason I don't want to move from where I live is I have gorgeous human beings as neighbors, and I love them. Like, I just love them. I love that they take care of me and I take care of them. So anyway, if it annoys you, I'm so sorry, but just know it's people's dreams coming true. That's what I think every time I hear the I'm like, somebody's dream is coming true over there. They're so happy, you guys. And I keep an eye on everything, and I text them. Like, if I see anything that looks weird, something happened last week where it sounded like there was a pump that was broken or something in their house, and it was happening at night. So we were texting them and texting pictures like, is this normal? And so anyway, we're looking out for them because they're super sweeties and they always look out for us. Anyway, I digress. I'm really lucky. I just love them so much. So tonight's meditation is a little bit of a deep one for me. It's a little complicated too, so I want to take a minute to teach you about why I chose this. There's a place in India called Amritsar. We're going to talk about Amrit, by the way, next year. Team SG was like horrified. Well, actually, Alexis wasn't horrified. But, I mean, it was kind of one of those meetings where people are like, really? We're going to talk about that? So we're going to talk about Amrit in 2022. And I don't want to get into it tonight, but it's sexual in nature. And it was a little bit of an awkward conversation to have amongst my employees. But it is an important concept to talk about. We're going to talk about it. But anyway, the city where this temple in India is located is called Amritsar. And it is an actual solid gold temple. 170 kilos of pure gold. It was poured over the walls, the floor, everything, like all of the open surfaces. And you can see at sunset in Amritsar, if you travel there, there's actually hotels on the other side of the river, and you can look out over the temple. I'm hoping we're going to India as a family in the fall next year for a couple weeks. And of course, I'm going to take you with me. I'm going to be live from there, and I'm going to teach classes from there and all of that, assuming, God willing, we can. But anyway, so I will be hopefully bringing India to life for you next year. and hopefully teaching classes from there for a while. But in any case, at sunset time, the whole temple glows. I mean, it is just like, and you can look on YouTube and look up Golden Temple or Amritsar, and you'll see videos, and it's absolutely magnificent. Now, what's interesting about it is the holiest of holy places for the Sikh, Sikh tradition, which we'll talk a little bit about Sikh practices when we get to India in February. That's where we're going with Soul Shifting Crystal Masters. Yeah, really excited for India next year. Dave's going first in April, I think, for 2 weeks, just to kind of get us ready to go so that it's easier for me and the kids, because I have not been to India. I know, I'll put you in my suitcase. But in any case, so when I was creating tonight's meditation and kind of feeling into it, I kept being brought back to this image of Amritsar and the Golden Temple from the Sikh tradition. And it is something of a pilgrimage that Sikhs make to this temple, because even the water in the river around the Golden Temple, outside of it, is considered holy. And they drink it, they bathe in it, right? Like even just touching the water is supposed to be very healing for your body and your spirit, right? Yeah, that's exactly right. And Waheguru, which is the mantra I'm going to play for you tonight, is the Sikh name for God, right? Waheguru in Sanskrit, Wahe means like wonderful or like wondrous, awe-inspiring. And guru means, of course, like one who leads us or inspires us or encourages us or enlightens us, right? Like the word guru means somebody who enlightens you on your path. It's come to have a negative connotation in English, but which is too bad, because in Sanskrit it has a much more beautiful translation. But anyway, so the mantra I'm teaching you tonight, Waheguru, which some of us say to each other, you know, like Sylvia and I always say Waheguru to each other. It actually just means wondrous source of enlightenment. And because we are doing a light body activation tonight, a golden body activation, so that's the right mantra. And instead of doing it with a mala, I'm just going to play the song and have you, while you're listening to the particular version of Waheguru that I've chosen for you. Yeah, it's from Kundalini practice. That's right. I want you to just receive it. I don't want you to focus on a mala or anything else. I want you to just like receive the energy of the mantra before we go into our meditation. Does that sound good? So that's kind of the inspiration for tonight. I do have a short video of the temple. Is anybody interested in seeing it? It's not like necessarily required viewing for tonight's journey, but if you're curious, and I will post the link too for you, but if you're curious, I can play this for you. Would you like to see it? Yeah, it's just sometimes it's kind of cool to have a visual in your mind when you're going into a meditation. Okay, I'll show. It's a real short video, and I'll show it to you. Okay. So this is the Golden Temple at Amritsar. I don't know why they zoom in on the clock. So good, isn't it? And then if you want to look up more, you can just look up Golden Temple in India. You'll find everything you need to find. It's beautiful. It's so inspiring. Yeah, that's exactly right, Jenny Reader. Amritsar. Amritsar, India. Yeah, and if you Google it, oh my gosh, the rabbit holes you will go down. I can't even begin to describe it to you. It's pretty beautiful. So let me, so that's all gold. Isn't that incredible? It does, has a good beat. My version is not as sexy, but you know, it's a version that sings to my soul. So I'm going to play you my version tonight. So what I want you to have for tonight is what I'm referring to as a golden ally. Okay? We talked about this, was it session 1? So on August 28th, my mom died, and unexpectedly, as most of you know. And on that day, it was a Saturday, we had a gift with purchase. Okay? And I knew that, but like, you know, when hard things happen in your life, you know how you just like, you're not even in your body, right? So I completely lost track of like time, space, what was the GWB? Like I just was like on another planet. So Kaz in our group got one of these with her order and saved it for me because she was like, holy shit, like to have a golden healer angel as a gift on the day your mom passes, which of course nobody planned that, right? And we planned the gifts with purchase like, you know, 3 or 4 months in advance. So it's crazy to me. And so she sent this to me, and I have been holding on to this for tonight. I don't know if Kaz is here, but I did tell her I was going to work with this as my golden ally. Do you have yours too? If you have one of these from me, that would be like the perfect golden ally for the meditation tonight. If you don't, any golden healer, isn't that crazy? I had no idea until afterward, and when Kaz was like, I cannot believe that was the gift with purchase, you know? She reached out to me right away, like, I can't believe it. And I was just like, holy shit. Yeah. So if you have golden healer of any kind, a sphere, a tumbled piece, a little point, a flame, a generator, any kind of golden healer, super special, isn't it? This is going to end up being so important to me. I'm going to take it to Sylvia and see what she can do with it. I'm going to have her make it into something for me. Yeah, so if you have a heart or anything today, isn't that interesting, Katrina? Like the timing of that. If you don't have golden healer, by the way, don't worry. I think golden quartz, like a zezchilite, would be really good. I think citrine would be great. What else did we talk about? We talked about a few crystals that would work for this. Apophyllite would be really, really nice. Libyan tektite, Joy Klein, would be ideal for this. Columbianite, 3000%, any of the tektites. Nathan has the golden healer that I gifted him, and I totally remember that. Are you going to work with that tonight? Oh, yeah, it's going to make me cry. Your golden healer pendant, right? So I'm giving you some alternatives now, Lori, Michelle, because I agree with you. Here's what I'm going to tell you. If you're feeling really called, limonite would be great because that's a golden mineral too. Golden healer is just iron, right? So any of your iron-based minerals would work well too. Honey calcite, for sure, I think would be beautiful for tonight. But I will say, if you're feeling called to it, work with it. Like even if you have one of your necklaces on, or, and what I would really recommend dedicating tonight as your golden ally, dedicate your bell or the Lakshmi Mala. You know what I mean? I love it. Casey's got golden healer quartz, titanium or a dambarite, which would be really, really cool. I'm just reading your comments. Jenny's got pyrite. I love that idea too. Use your bell though. If you got the bell, I think this is a golden ally, don't you think? And it's got pyrite on it. So I think your bell would be, like, how cool to dedicate your bell tonight. Take this bell into the temple with me. And then every time you work with it, you're going to remember that, right? Your diamond ring would be great. Sunset aura is fantastic. Yep. Yeah, so anyway, you have something. What I don't want to see you do is like run around frantic trying to figure something out. Go to the first thing you're called to, even if it's just a piece of jewelry that you're wearing or that you always wear. Like, it doesn't have to be something new that you dedicate. I chose this because of the love that I know Kaz put into it, and I literally have held it since August for tonight with a lot of intention. Citrine's great. Your bells are great. Love, love, love it. Yeah, that aura wand, Emalea, from our kit, that was a sunset aura. Use that. That would be a perfect golden ally for tonight. Remember that wand from a couple months back? I know. And then the mala. Karen's got the mala that I made. Sweet. The one I made in Hawaii was all golden citrine, and I sat on the back deck and I made that for you with so much love. Your phoenix ring is great. Amethyst is always good. You guys have got it. This is going to be perfect for you. And I'm going to try not to cry. You know I'm not a crier. I've cried more this year than I swear I have in my whole life. I'm double fire. I don't cry. Don't cry. Except I cry all the time now. Maybe that's my spiritual growth of the years. I've learned to just not stop crying. That's right. Tumbles down, piece of gold medal. You know what I mean? Your graduation, if you got your graduation pendant, then take that in. Let that, I'm wearing mine. I added it to my chain. Yeah, any of that is okay. Yeah. Catherine Lomack. She said, I'm not allowed to move that wand from the bathroom. My boys are particular about the crystals. You know, my mother's heart just loves that so much. All right. So I'm going to teach you a little bit. I'm going to burn some stuff. We're going to move into the burning part of our ceremony this evening as I burn it. God, I love burning shit. I know you do too. I just love it. I really love it. I'm going to light some of my Palo Santo. Why burn one thing when you can burn two? Why? Why would you do that? More is more is more. Yeah. Crying is good for you. I just don't do it very often, so it's a new day for me. Quadruple fire, you're gonna burn, 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 burn. Oh, I love it. Kaz says she watched a Muppets Christmas Carol and bawled like a baby. It's good stuff, you know? I'm learning. Look at me learning. I'm still learning. But that's why I'm here. If I wasn't learning anymore, I wouldn't be here anymore. So I'm kind of grateful for learning because I like it here. I'm keen to stay as long as I can, right? Yeah, I love. Well, you're a Pisces though. Zoe loves to cry and sleep. Those are her like love languages. Poor Zoe. She woke up this morning. She was like, "I'm so happy it's almost winter break and I don't have to wake up anymore." And I was like, "You're such a Pisces." Tara says she cries all the time. I mean, I've always kind of admired people who do it. And we were talking about tears the other day. I'm lighting my my charcoal. We were talking about tears the other day, right? Because tears have a specific pH, and like when you cry and you're happy, the pH of your tears is different than when you cry and you're sad, right? So tears have relevance to your body, and I was saying it's actually your tears are so healing that's good if you can bottle them and then make them into a releasing mist with your own tears. Except every time I cry, I think about it afterward, like, oh yeah, shit. now I'm not crying anymore, and I didn't bottle it, you know. So if you're mindful enough to bottle it while you're crying, that's the magic. Okay, I'm going to burn a little bit of our Aurum incense. Yeah. And Aurum, remember, is heather and pansies, which was my mom's favorite flower. Everything is so divinely, because that's her pansy ring that I've been wearing since she died. So, just a little bit of that. We didn't do the shakers of incense this year because I wanted to do something different, but I'm going to kind of miss this. I really liked these, so I hope you liked them too. And then, let me bring my drink over here. I'll light my candle. And we're not quite at graduation yet, but I'm gonna, I've been working with Magnum Opus, which is your graduation perfume. I hope you like it. We designed it to be worn with gold perfume. It's like meant to be, get the cap off or no? Meant to be worn with gold, which was your beginning of the year perfume. They're kind of like bookends. So if you have Magnum Opus, you can work with that starting tonight. It's more for next week, and then after the program's over. Let's go for a little bit of that. And bring that to you. If you haven't diffused Magnum Opus, you haven't lived. It's real good. So yeah, just a couple of drops there. It sort of functions as a liquid incense for you. And then just over me. So good. Over my sound tools. And we are set. Oh yeah. Oh, that's interesting. Terra Sacred Gold Incense is the only one that doesn't give her a migraine. That makes me happy. I like knowing I have something that doesn't migraine you. Mm-hmm. Yeah. Well, I think we have to... I was reading Melissa's comment. She said she became troubled by some suggestions in guru teachings. I think we have to remember that teachers are human. It's important not to put teachers on pedestals, and to also know that not every teacher is everything they teach you is gonna be relevant for you too. You know, I work with a lot of teachers. I'm constantly bringing new people in and releasing the old, and when it's time, you know what I mean? And some people I've worked with, like I have one teacher I've worked with since I was 22. And she keeps saying, I have nothing left to teach you. And I'm like, you have a lot left to teach me, because everything that comes out of her mouth is useful. So I just keep working with her. And she's always like, Athena, I have nothing left to teach you. And I'm always like, you do. But, you know, it's like we have to not put people on pedestals. I think it's really important not to do that. I'm human. You know what I mean? I do my best. I think I have a lot of wisdom to share, but I'm not divine. I'm human. So you always have to filter what you learn from people through that awareness, you know, that people are human. Yeah, it's very important. Yeah, but we tend to put teachers, especially like high profile teachers, which is part of the reason why I'm glad, even though my community has really grown, I'm still kind of underground, and I really like that. I don't want to be somebody who's like a celebrity teacher or whatever. I kind of like that I'm still kind of underground, because I haven't had to change much of who I am and at all. And, you know, like I feel like I can be really authentic, and I'm not, you know, putting on a show for anybody. So that's been really nice for me. We are divine, but you know what I mean, Karen Brown, right? Like I don't want anybody to put me on a pedestal. I don't put other people on a pedestal, because I know people are human. And so I don't have these expectations that people are going to be perfect or like always say the right thing or do the right thing. Like, you know, people are human. So it's challenging, but it's good to have that awakening too, right? Teachers are learning. If they weren't learning, they wouldn't be here. And I'm constantly like humbled by this universe. I still have so much left to learn, and I'm here for it. I like it. Yeah, I promise you, as long as I'm with you, I will not change. It's not going to happen. If I had to really change who I was, I wouldn't want to do this anymore. And the only reason I really still love it and get up every morning and just can't wait to start what I do again is that This is still really me. Yeah. So anyway, we're all on the lowdown. Okay, so let me teach you a little bit. Let me go professor on you for just a couple minutes. Then we'll dive in. We'll do our perfume blending tonight. We'll do our journey, and then we'll spend a few minutes at the end of our class together tonight, talking about next year. But I want to save that for the end. So in alchemy, the goal is to create gold, right? And gold becomes a metaphor. Gold is really about the finest qualities of you and who you are, and the core and the essence of who you are. And I think the work of life is not to become something you're not. I think the work of life and of alchemy is actually just fully living into and accepting and appreciating and celebrating that you are who you are, that you don't have to change or be someone else or put on a show or impress anybody, that actually who you are and what you are is perfect, and that you can be what we would call a healer, right, or an alchemist without changing anything about who you are and what you do. That actually doing it right where you are with what you have and what you know is the medicine. And so that's what tonight is all about. Now, gold has a very specific vibration. People have asked me for years, like, why do you wear gold jewelry, or why do you like gold so much? I'm a Leo, so I'm ruled by the sun. And the sun is a solar, gold planet. It aligns to the metal gold. And so there has always been something in me where I really do like gold. I wear a lot of gold jewelry and things like that. And it's funny because most of the jewelry I'm wearing was gifts and given to me by other people, and most of it's gold. So, and they're simple pieces, you know what I mean? But they are gold, and I love having gold on my skin. I like silver too. So gold is masculine and silver is feminine. So when you wear both metals, like I do, I'm constantly weaving silver and gold together. Really what you're doing with your jewelry is you're creating balance and integration, right? The feminine, the masculine. You always want to look for that and have kind of both in your wardrobe or on your altar or however you work with it. Yeah, gold is still special. We went through a phase, I think, as a society where like it was platinum, right? Everybody wanted platinum. I don't think I own one platinum piece of jewelry, and that's my original wedding set from Dave. Other than that, I don't own anything else that's platinum, but there was like a phase of that where everybody wanted platinum this and platinum that. And when you wear platinum, it doesn't have the same life force as gold. Gold actually has more energy to it, which is interesting. White gold's the same thing. It doesn't have to be yellow. The metal itself is what I'm talking about, and not necessarily the color. Does that make sense? So even if you're like, well, I don't like yellow gold, but I do like white gold, and will that work? It's still bringing in that masculine, and it's still activating that magnum opus of alchemy. So if you have white gold, that is perfect for you too, right? Rose gold is beautiful too, like Crystal was mentioning. I like rose gold too. I don't own any rose gold, and I don't know why, other than just I've never bought it. Nobody's ever given it to me before, but I think it's so pretty. And sometimes we bring you kind of like rosy toned things, like not gold, but like a copper colored or a rose colored, which I think is really pretty. So anyway, that's part of the reason why the metals are so important. And when people say, oh, I just want sterling silver, I'm always thinking like, that's a lot of feminine energy. you gotta balance that with a little bit of the masculine too. So when we talk about getting to this stage in alchemy, it's about trying to connect with the energy of gold as a frequency. And I've told you this many times, that I think the reason this planet was chosen for our kind, for human colonization, because I do think Earth was chosen for human colonization by ascended masters, is because there's more gold in the matrix of our planet than any other planet in the solar system. You probably know this. And I always joke that like Dave loves Gold Rush. I'm not as into it, so that's like his alone time, because Dave and I both need a lot of alone time. So my alone time is spent reading books, and his alone time is spent watching Gold Rush. I think my alone time is better spent. He would totally disagree. If you don't have gold, it's a great question. Janice is asking, like, what else would you work with that has the closest properties? Probably copper, I think, is closer to gold than silver. So if you don't have gold, maybe think about working with copper. Copper to me has always landed somewhere in the middle of masculine and feminine. It's like it runs both frequencies. And so I think if you, if you don't have gold, try copper and see if it doesn't. In fact, in so many ways, copper really is the aligning and balancing metal in the world of metals, right? Yeah, brass is nice too. Yeah, Rhonda Reeves, thank you for that suggestion too. She's right. Brass is also a really nice, and I like brass a lot. Sometimes in jewelry it's not super great because it can kind of turn your skin wonky colors and stuff, but energetically it's an interesting metal to me too. Okay, so hold on, let me just go back to my notes real quick. Okay, so tonight's meditation is a take on the Blue Room, which still to this day is my students' favorite meditation of all time. Now, I'm not necessarily saying it's going to be the Blue Room because the energy of it is different. The Blue Room is an old time meditation. I re-recorded it for you, I think, was it this year or last year? Where it's kind of a reconciliation space. When you're in really deep conflict with people, you can take the conflict into the Blue Room. But basically what you're doing is allowing the higher selves to communicate. So you're not there, the other person isn't there, but you call in their higher selves and you let the higher selves kind of work it out, and you leave the outcome to the spirit world so you don't get too involved. It's a great meditation. It was last year, right? Anyway, so the Blue Room is a fantastic meditation. Tonight's going to be a variation on that theme. So instead of the Blue Room, we're going into the Golden Temple. Now, I'm just preparing you a little bit to have you start thinking about this. The Golden Temple in Amritsar, one of the reasons I think it's so fascinating as a inspiration for tonight's meditation, and actually as a symbol of alchemy in so many ways, the Golden Temple at Amritsar has 4 entrances. And they align to the actual 4 cardinal directions. So there's a north entrance, a south entrance, an east entrance, and the west entrance. And the reason that they built 4 entrances at Amritsar is that they wanted to give architecturally, they wanted to give an invitation that people can enter that temple from all faiths, from all directions, from all races, from all corners of the world, that you can literally make your way into that temple to pray and connect with God, based on whoever you are and from wherever you come, there's a place for you. And so when we go into the Golden Temple tonight, that's going to be part of our meditation and I'm going to ask you in the meditation to enter the temple from your direction, okay? And you can choose when we get to that point in the meditation whether you want to decide what that direction is or you want to leave that up to your spirit guides, but I'm just planting the seed. And then what I want you to imagine, isn't it beautiful? So I want you to also play with this concept in your life, okay? For me, what alchemy means is I'm open, right? I'm allowing energies into my life from every direction. I don't filter, I don't judge, right? Everything is all is welcome here. Because I know that whatever happens in my life, I can alchemize it. I can transform it. I can transmute it. And I can also be like smoke and let the energies move through without holding on to them, if that makes sense. Yeah, so it's very much like a Baha'i temple. It's the same concept, exactly. And so you don't have to decide this right now, but I do want you to kind of think about what your cardinal direction is. And then you might also play with maybe not using that direction. Like, I'm such a southern girl because I'm so fire. But I might choose to enter from the north tonight. Like, I'm kind of playing with, because your balancing element is across the wheel from you, right? If you're all air, your balancing element is water. And because it's across the medicine wheel. And if you're all fire, your balancing element is earth, and vice versa. So you might choose to enter from the opposite direction of what you traditionally consider to be your direction, and I think that'll be really good for you too. Okay, so what I'm going to do for you now is I'm going to play the song, and I want you to really relax into this moment with me, and I want you to allow yourself to really not just hear the words. I'm only going to play a couple minutes of this. Not just hear the words, but feel. Let this land with you and inside of you. And if you have your crystal or your tool that you're working with for tonight's meditation, it might be good to just start to have that with you now. I want to encourage you to take this moment to really connect. The reason I want to play this before we make our perfume is I want you to internalize the energy of this mantra, Waheguru. And it literally is just pronounced exactly the way it's spelled. Wahe, W-A-H-E. So you can say it along with the song if it feels good. And then Guru, G-U-R-U. Are you ready?
Waheguru, Waheguru,
And can you start to feel the crown chakra being activated? This song is very good for that upper chakra stimulation and activation. So you should feel just a little bit of like tingling, not anything profound. And if you have your eyes closed and you tune in, you can start to feel almost like you can see, without your seeing eyes, but with your knowing eye, you can sort of sense the area at the top of your head and above your head. Right? Almost like a thread is pulling you up, 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 up. Can you feel it? And I don't want you to lose this. I want you to stay right here with this, right? Do you feel it? Felt like you were flying, right? So good. So this version is on my Soul Shift playlist in SoundCloud, which is free. You're welcome to follow all of my playlists if you want. And Alexis has the link to my SoundCloud so she can post it for you. The artist is Kate, Kate, and her last name is Mackenzie, Mckenzie. This will all be in your notes. Don't go look for it now. I want you to stay soft, and going on your phone and stuff will take you out of the zone. But I will have the link for you. We'll put it in your notes, her name, like you'll be able to get this later, okay? I always end up going and looking for music, and then I lose my meditation. So, yeah, it's Kate Mackenzie. And of all the versions of Wahe Guru, because there's so many of them, I just find, like, I would love for you, I know you're super busy right now because the holidays just have everybody in a hustle and bustle, but I would love for you tonight to light your candle, and just go somewhere quietly for 5 minutes, close the door, cuddle up with a really good pillow and blanket, and just listen to this and fly away. Especially if you can do it before you go to sleep. Or get in the bathtub with this, you know what I mean? Just, there's something about it that just activates, right? Yeah, so good. And Crystal's all over it. Crystal Shazammed it and already downloaded it. So, and that's another way to do it too. Isn't that beautiful? So Wahe Guru, Wahe means, it's hard to translate, right? But it means like wonderful, like full of wonder, or wondrous, or amazing, or bountiful, or blissful. It's like hard to put words to it, but like just amazing, right? Wondrous. And then Guru is one who enlightens you. So this is a source of wondrous enlightenment. Did you feel it? So anyway, you can find music when we're done tonight. She's beautiful too, just as a human being. This is Kate Mackenzie. I think she's beautiful. So anyway, enjoy her. She's pretty special. Yeah, get in the tub. I'm already getting you ready for your evening. Okay, so from there, this is the zone I want you in for blending our perfume for tonight. And our perfume tonight is obviously the final perfume that we're making of the year. And it's the journey to connection. And it's the journey to connection with you, with yourself. It's the journey to connection with your spirit teachers and spirit guides. Isn't she beautiful in her voice? It's like she's an angel. I think she's an absolute angel on this planet. So I'm glad I got to introduce you to the magic of Kate Mackenzie. I don't know her. But she is an angel. She really is. Okay, so we are going to blend now, my lovelies. I'm being careful not to touch anything because it's all hot. So the oils that we chose for connection are some that we haven't worked with this year. We chose blood orange for you. Blood orange brings divine inspiration and connection. It brings connection to your body, to your spiritual gifts. It also brings creativity and sparks the imagination. And then chamomile, which is one of people's favorites, I love it too, It enhances meditation. It opens the throat chakra. It protects your sacred space. It calms and soothes the central nervous system. It's like a balm for your central nervous system, especially if you have anxiety. Chamomile is your new best friend. And then olibinum, which is a really interesting one. It's a form of frankincense, olibinum. That comes from the Middle East, and it was once more valuable than gold because it was so hard to find, and it's still very expensive. We only gave you a half dram because of how expensive olibinum is. It's for astral travel. It literally will take you out of your body. So this is going to be creative inspiration, total relaxation out of your body, which is kind of the vibe of tonight. And what I love too is because blood orange is an orange, very light orange colored oil, this oil is going to have a golden hue to it. You can totally use wild orange, by the way. Yeah, so wild orange, sweet orange, are good replacements. Blood orange tends to have the most intense frequency of the citrus family of any of these citrus oils, which is why some people really, really love it, because it's just like it's an intense dose of citrus. So yeah, so if you're a nervous person or you have anxiety, and if you don't, I just want to say congratulations, because I don't think I know anybody right now who isn't a nervous person. I mean, it's just like the common denominator, but so if you're not, I'm being serious, I'm really happy for you, because most people I know are in at least a mild state of anxiety these days, with so much unknown in the world and all of the craziness that we've all been through as a collective. So just want you to know, if you do have feelings of anxiety or depression or disconnection, it's so common right now, and sometimes it helps to know you're just not alone in your experience of that. Yeah, I have Faith perfume here because I'm working with it tonight, since my journey tonight is really about connecting with my mom in the Golden Temple. So we'll see. I know it's all gone. I don't know if we can make it anymore. There was a couple of the oils in there that we're having trouble getting. Okay, so what I want you to do first is I want you to take your olibinum, and I want you to take your blood orange, and I want you to smell them together. It's a beautiful dance. Really, truly it is. Because there's a sharpness to olibinum, and there's a sweetness to the orange. And they balance each other. There's a duality in those two oils. And then I want you to bring your chamomile toward the other two. And I want you to notice what it does. It softens it even further. Such good medicine. I'm going to take a little bit of the chamomile and put it up my nose. Don't judge me. But I love to work with essential oils like that. It just gets it into my system faster. So just a little up ye old nose. It's so good for calming you and just bringing down the tense energies and the vibrations and the frequencies. At the end of the day, you thought I was saying aluminum? No, olibinum. Yep. Okay, so hopefully you can judge based on just kind of smelling the three together the proportions that you want to work with. For me personally, because I really do want to use this to fly a little bit, I'm just blowing my breath into the bottle to charge it. I am going to put the whole bottle of the olibinum into my blend tonight, because I really want all of the energy of that, and that's going to fill it up about, let me get my hand out of the way, maybe about 15-20% of the way. Can you see? Come on, camera. My camera likes natural light. It doesn't like this whole artificial light business that we're doing right now with the time change. And then I'm going to come in with my orange, which is going to sweeten it up a little bit. I don't want to dilute it, but I do want to sweeten it. And so right now this is 50-50, olibanum and orange. Yeah. Whew. And then I want you to smell that and see how you like it where it is. Oh, that's real good. I love it as it is, actually, but I do want the energy of chamomile because I want to fly, but I also want to relax. And so I'm going to add one more third of the chamomile, not all of it. And by the way, always keep your extras. You never know, you'll want to make something with that. So keep that in your medicine cabinet. So this is 1/3 olibanum, 1/3 blood orange, and 1/3 chamomile. And I'm just turning it 3 times. Yeah. Yeah. What's nice about this is I can smell all 3. I can smell the olibanum. There's the sharpness there. I can smell the blood orange for sure. You can smell the citrus. It's undeniable. But then you can also smell that chamomile. I know. You bet you can almost smell it through the screen. And then I'm going to take the jojoba and just fill it the rest of the way. You don't want to apply citrus oils to the skin neat, as we call it. They can be quite irritating to the skin. So even if you're like me and you're not really sensitive to essential oils, they don't tend to bother you or irritate your skin, I still really recommend always diluting, especially when you're working with the citrus, because I just don't want you to have a reaction to it. Most people are fine with citrus as long as it's diluted and cut. And then let's just take a little bit of that on the wrist. A little at the third eye for what I know, at the wrist for what I do. Oh, that's good. And it's going to smell even better tomorrow. You know, when you blend essential oils, especially with a carrier oil, the next day it's considered cured, right? And so it really becomes what it's going to be the day after you blend, right? On my ankles for where I go. And just take a couple of deep inhales there and let the medicine of these oils, keeping in mind that these oils come from radically different parts of the world. They had to travel the journey of a lifetime to reach you, right? So you're feeling the energy of almost the north, south, east, west, right? Blood orange comes often from Spain, and then your olibanum comes from the Middle East, right? And your chamomile, could come from the US, it could come from Central America. So you're just feeling the merging of all of those energies together. Mm-hmm. And just let that be for a second. And let that kind of sit in your system. I'm also going to take just a little bit of it and anoint my angel. I'm going to anoint my channeling stones too while I'm here, because this is such a good blend for flying. So if you like this blend and you want to kind of work with it with other tools, you can just take it and add a few drops. Your crystals, most of your crystals love your oils, especially your quartz-based minerals, so it's good to anoint them. You can go in and anoint your jewelry, right, and just connect with it in that way. If you have a mala that you're working with tonight, you can run it through the tassel of your mala to infuse it there too, all right? Instead of olibanum, frankincense. If you don't have frankincense, galbanum. If you don't have galbanum, spikenard. If you don't have spikenard, what do you got? I'm trying to think of like other good alternatives. The best alternative for olibanum is frankincense, because it's technically, Palo Santo. It's not going to smell the same. Frankincense will smell the same. Galbanum will smell the same. Opoponax would be real good, and that'll smell very similar. Anything outside of those oils is going to change really fundamentally change the scent of the blend, which is not a big deal, but those are like the best kind of easy replacements. Yeah. Yeah, so that's Marie. I hope you heard me. I'm giving you the alternatives now. Instead of blood orange, you can use sweet orange, bitter orange, wild orange. You could, in a pinch, use lemon or lime, or neroli would be good too, although it'll make it really sweet. And then in place of your chamomile, I'm hesitating because I don't want you to go with lavender, which would have a similar vibration, but it's going to totally change the perfume, right? Yeah, is that helpful? Oh, nice. Nancy used frankincense, orange, and sandalwood. Yes, that's honestly vibrationally, Nancy. Look at you guys, the expertise. Jessica used sweet orange, frankincense, and clary sage. Love it. Love it. And she likes it. Yeah, myrrh, thank you for that. Benzoin. Benzoin's going to sweeten it up and make it smell a little bit more ambery, but not bad. You know what I mean? Different, but not bad. Woo. Yes, indeed, darling. Isn't that good? Yeah, there's always alternatives, but like I have to think through it for a second because I don't want to change the frequency of the blend too much. So I'm trying to give you things that would like kind of create the same thing, but oh, that's real good. And then the other thing you can do too, which I like to do, not everybody likes to do this, but when I'm burning my candles, I take a little bit of my favorite blends. You don't want to touch the flame, but just into the wax. Then your candle will work as a diffuser. So not on the flame, but in the melted wax around the flame, just a couple of drops. And then you're going to diffuse that. And the other thing is that most of you know is that you can take just a couple drops onto your charcoal disc. And it doesn't take much. And that will also diffuse the scent of the perfume into the space. And it's beautiful. Beautiful. Oh, cedar would be nice too. Samantha Stevenson, I like that. That's very, very, very good. How are you feeling? So now we're in that Wahe Guru, upper chakra's open. We've cleared the space. Everything smells like it's right and ready. Kaz has her golden healer angel too. I gotta get more of those. I don't have any of them right now, but it certainly has become something special to me through this experience. You ready? Last soul shift journey of 2021. So I'm going to invite you now to go within if that feels good to you. You can certainly stay in the feed and engage and chat if you want, which is fine, or you can say, I'll see you in a few minutes so I can take you away. Let's go to the temple. You want to go? I want to go. I've been waiting all month for this. Let's do it. And I'll see you in a little while. way tonight. Welcoming in the guides and the guardians of the East. We thank you for being present to us tonight. Opening up doorways to vision, expansion, and breath, to the life force, to new beginnings, to new cycles, new possibilities. We welcome you tonight for clear sight, clear guidance. And continuing our turn around the wheel, welcoming in the guides and the guardians of the sound. Guardians of fire, transformation, change, fearlessness, courage, strength in the south to carry on despite obstacles and challenges and setbacks. Finding our footing in the south, winding our way down toward the center of the earth, tending the inner fire. We welcome you at the end of this cycle, the end of this year, a turning point, helping us to greet a new year with courage, to say goodbye to this year with grace. And then walking the wheel, opening the door to the west. Guardians of the West, we welcome you in tonight, helping us to feel, process, experience, to receive, to allow, to release. We'll say goodbye to you, to the fall next week. And we'll officially be in the land of the north, leaving this beautiful season behind. Walking north. We welcome in the guides and the guardians of the Earth Gateway. Thank you so much for greeting us here. We're ready for you, guardians of the north, to hold the space, to help us rest, retreat, restore, renew. Take it slow. In the north, the vibration shifts. There's no rushing here. There's just being. Nothing to prove, nothing to chase, just allowing. Knowing you're held, you're safe, you're protected by all of the guides and the guardians of this sacred direction. Turning our attention skyward now to the guides and the guardians of the spirit element. Climbing that ladder of conscious awareness. We greet you, guides and guardians of spirit. We call upon you for magic and serendipity, for power. You are the above, you are the below, and you animate all of life. We welcome you in for magic. And climbing that ladder of conscious awareness even higher, we greet the guides and the guardians of the upper realm. Gateways above the 8th, 9th, 10th, 11th, and 12th dimensions. Akashic gateways, the universal, the stellar. Here where we greet the angels, light beings and spirit teachers from all dimensions and directions merge here. communing together in this one sacred space, in this moment I share with you. We give thanks to you for connection, community, communion, compassion. And then to the guides and the guardians of the lower world. That's the planetary matrix, all ley lines and vortex points. It's the planet itself, and then beneath your feet, the mineral world, the bone kingdom, the places of rest. We welcome you in, guides and guardians of this lower world, connecting us with ancestral wisdom, lineage healing, power places across this planet, knowing we can gather that power, that energy, integrate it into the field, embody it in our lives. Thank you, guardians of the east, the south, the west, the north, spirit, upper realms, the middle realms, the lower realm, as above, so below. And together we say, Amen. Aho. And so it is. Amen. Aho. And so it is. And so tonight I want you to let go of the room that you're in. Just keep your eyes closed wherever you are. Stay in that dreamy, floaty, beautiful space while I take you to the Golden Temple tonight. And so I want you to let go of all the surroundings and thoughts of the day and the week and the month and the year, and let go of time, let go of space. Just release all of those constraints for a moment. Let's even let go of our body for a minute. Wouldn't that be nice? Letting go of your shoulders, your back, your legs, and your arms, and your neck. Just letting your spirit feel like it's untethered for a moment so it can fly. And I want you to give your soul permission to journey to this Golden Temple with me tonight. Your mind may not know how to get there, but your soul does. Your soul knows exactly how to get there. And I want you to feel yourself just flying, floating above the planet, above your home, above your space, above your body. Give yourself the gift of just this utter lightness of being, feeling the soul within you, longing for this freedom, and just indulging that desire so completely. Just say yes to it. Everything will be there when you're ready to come back. And so as you fly and travel and find your way to this incredible Golden Temple, I want you to notice how you're starting to feel the pull to that place. You're starting to feel like you can sense the energy of that place, and it's almost like it's summoning you, it's beckoning you, it's pulling you down toward it from where you are. So you're floating high above, and then you're starting to feel this magnetic call, this pull down to the actual place itself. And as you feel yourself floating down and finding your connection to this incredibly sacred location, I want you to feel yourself gently landing as you arrive and approach. And as you find your footing and sort of descend in front of the temple, I want you to notice that you can in fact see that you have 4 ways in to this temple tonight, and it's a choice that you can make how you'll enter. You can enter from the east, which will mean that your journey tonight is a journey of new beginnings, and you can choose that. You can choose to have a fresh start, a new cycle, deeper vision, clearer vision. And so if you're feeling this call to explore what it might be like to enter the temple from the east, I want you to go with that. And so coming into the temple from the east, if you're making that passageway, I want you to notice the golden arch over your head. And you know that every part of you is welcome here. In fact, you've been anticipated. Your arrival is no accident. So feeling that welcoming from the east. And then there is an entrance in the south of the temple. So if the east didn't call to you, the south might be calling your name. And if you enter the temple through the southern gateway, you're going to enter through the gateway of strength. You're going to enter through the gateway of transformation, knowing that when you enter through this gateway, you come out different than you were when you entered. Stronger, more powerful, more active, stronger, clearer about who you are and your purpose, fearless about your goals and your desires, ready to stand in your power and in your purpose, and you are ready to enjoy your time in the temple from the south. And then if the south doesn't speak to you, it could be because you're ready to enter from the west. And the western direction faces the water. And this is the direction you'll enter if you're coming into the temple tonight for healing. If you're coming into the temple tonight for purification. If you're coming into the temple for reconciliation. If you're coming in to let go of sorrow and grief and loss and heaviness, and just be held in the arms of the Divine Mother tonight. So maybe the West is calling you. It's a beautiful way to enter, and you'll know. And then if the West isn't summoning you, it could be because you are meant to enter from the north. And when you enter the Golden Temple from the north, you enter for wisdom. You enter for a sense of connection to your ancestors. You enter for protection. You enter to know that you're not alone. You enter to be held. You enter because you know that you'll find a sense of belonging here that you may never feel anywhere else, in fact. That you'll be understood here. That you can heal your lineage backward and forward when you enter the temple from this direction. I am entering from the west tonight. And I want you to choose your direction. I'm here to release, and I'm here to be held and nurtured and to feel unconditional love. Are you ready? the sun is setting on the temple as you take your first steps inside. And there's part of you that can't believe the beauty that's here. Part of you is just so excited just to be here and see this and feel this. You just know how special it is. And that you've crossed oceans and timelines to find your way here. And it's everything you imagined it would be. And as you take your first steps through your entrance, and any entrance you choose is perfect. There's no wrong choice. And then you can do this meditation 100 times and enter in every direction. But for tonight, as you take your first steps inside, I want you to look up and notice that as you enter, every surface in front of you is glowing. Above you, the walls, the archways are glittering. They're reflecting that sunset light. And as you look down towards your feet, you notice the floor, and it's glittering, and it's glowing, and it's reflecting the last of the sun's rays from the day. And you just continue to feel welcomed. No one's summoning you with their voice, but energetically you feel just pulled to continue your steps into the temple. And as you approach from your direction, you notice that whether you entered from the east or the south or the west or the north, all of those entrances lead to one center inner sanctum of this temple. And it does. It feels like home. This feels like a place. It's so unfamiliar, and yet there's something, your soul knows this place. It knew how to bring you here, and it knows where you are now. So as you enter the temple from your direction, you find yourself in that center sanctum. I want you to approach that sanctum, and you can imagine kneeling to do this, or you can do it standing. But I want you to take a moment and just quietly, either in your mind or you can speak it quietly out loud, I want you to say a very simple centering prayer tonight. And I want you to speak your intention into the space. And I'm going to go quiet for just a minute so that you can do that in your own way. And whatever words you have will be just perfect for this part of our journey this evening. When you feel like your intention has been set and expressed into the space. And I love it because I feel like we're all there together in this one sacred, beautiful moment. It's the ultimate retreat. And so once you've said your prayer, you're feeling this call to continue to enter deeper into this inner sanctum. And as you approach and you look up, you see that there's an incredible golden pyramid in the center of this temple. It must be 20 feet high by 20 feet wide. And in the center of this golden pyramid, there are beautiful cushions on the floor, and there's an open area in the center, and the cushions sort of are all placed around this center sanctuary. And you just feel so excited to enter that golden pyramid, feeling the energy of your intention. And there's one little seat in particular that calls to you, so you go and you take your place. And you can sense that all around you are beings of light, and some of them, you can actually feel them starting to fill the space now, coming in from behind you, coming in from the sides, coming before you. And you feel this awareness and this inner deep, beautiful, loving knowing that these are all beings who know you too. The vision I'm having in my journey right now is I'm seeing all of these incredible beings, and they all seem to have these white robes that they're wearing. And it's like I can even hear their robes on the floor as they're coming toward this inner sanctum where I'm sitting. And you might take a minute to notice if any of these beings of light that are around you are familiar to you. Could be ancestors, could be spirit guides that you've come to know through the years. It could be some of your spirit teachers from other dimensions. So the purpose of this space for you is to do two things tonight. One is to get really deep clarity here about your purpose. The purpose for your being here. That might include the magic from your lineage and your ancestry, gifts that they have held in their lives that they have passed forward to you, that you may only come into awareness of now. And the other purpose for tonight is to have a physical experience of what it feels like to raise your vibration. In this space, you can't have a low vibration. You wouldn't even be able to enter the space if you weren't already in this very moment vibrating in alignment with those energies. That's the magic of this space. So I want you to take a moment first and notice what it feels like in your body. First, to be free and limitless and filled with light, to be surrounded by gold, to be held in this vortex of light, and surrounded by the highest forms of creation that are able to exist in this universe. And notice what that feels like in your body. I want you to, if you have your crystal with you that you've chosen to be your golden ally for tonight, I want to make sure you're holding it now. And I want you to notice how you might feel called to place that crystal down in front of you in this golden temple. And I want you to notice how all of the beings who've gathered are either placing their hands towards your crystal or are beaming from their third eye. Some of them may be sending in ways you've never seen before their energies and their blessings for you to that crystal. And so to all of these great teachers, these master teachers in this holy of holy locations, Waheguru, we give thanks for you. And we ask for your blessings upon us, upon our paths, upon this tool that we've chosen to dedicate to this work. And just quietly to yourself, right? Waheguru. 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 To these wondrous enlighteners, these great teachers. You can just keep saying it. It's good. Like, and notice how it's almost like they're saying it back to you. Because to them, you are a wondrous enlightener. Hold that space that you might also be a source of inspiration to them. And you've chosen a challenging path, and you walk it with grace. And when you stumble and fall, you get back up and you continue. And that is a wondrous thing. I think they're happy we're here. I do. I think they're happy that we can see them too. And now I want you to take a moment. It's really important. This is just for you. And if you want to, I want you to ask for what you need from these teachers, these beings. What can they bring you? Where do you need support? Where do you need help? What can they do to ease your burden? Where can they illuminate you? Where can they shine their light of wisdom? Where can they glow in this beautiful golden bath of beauty? Where can they bring that glow into your life to shift you, to transform you? What do you need? And I want you to say it or think it. And I really want you to take this opportunity. What do you need in this year ahead? And if you don't know, tell them, I don't know, but I know I need you. I know I need wisdom. I know I need strength. I know I need support and love and nurturing and encouragement. And if you don't know what to say at all, that's why I gave you the mantra. All you have to say is Waheguru. And that will be enough for tonight. And let them They may want to take your crystal for a moment and work with it. They may just be beaming their energy toward it, and that's okay too. But give them the chance to infuse just the energy of pure, beautiful, golden, divine light into your crystal, and watch as they do it. And now I want you to take that crystal and just gently place it to your third eye. This is the transition to next year's programs right now. As we prepare to open these doorways of awareness, to activate new gifts in you, new awareness, new timelines, new possibilities. And just feel how it's almost like turning the pages of a book, right? Feeling how the past and the present and the future all sort of collapse into this one perfect moment of union and connection. All of your lifetimes, your future lifetimes, your future ancestors. It's all just so perfect in this one moment. And when you're ready, you can take that crystal back into your hands. We're going to take just one more minute in this space. It's hard to leave, but do prepare yourself. This is your last minute in this temple space. So what do you feel? I'm feeling hands outstretched to me. Whatever that connection looks like for you, just allow it. Create space for it. One more moment just to appreciate this space. There's light codes on the ceilings and so much beauty you won't be able to take it in completely, but take one more last look around the space and all who have gathered here to witness you today. Just take a moment to say thank you. Thank you, thank you. Knowing this is a place you can always return to. It exists in a time outside of time, in a space outside of space. You can always come back. Your soul knows the way. So fast, so easy to get here. And notice now how the spirit guides and the teachers and the ancestors, and I'm seeing them all in their white robes, and they're starting to turn from me now, and they're leaving through the 4 gateways. It's beautiful, actually. And feeling how the energy is now returning to the way it was when you first entered the temple, where you sense that you are alone there, and yet you know that you aren't, you can't be. And when you're ready, as you rise from your seat, and you just take one more chance to bow toward the center of the sanctum that you're inside. And you turn. And the doorways, the gateways begin to call. And the northern gateway will take you home. And the western gateway will take you home. And the southern gateway will take you home. And the eastern gateway will take you home. And the guardians of the east will fly you on eagle's wings right back to where you began. And back in your body you go. Back to your room. Becoming more aware of the temperature in the room where you are. Becoming more aware of your body. And the sights and the sounds and the feelings and the sensations. And just need to breathe. And together we say, Waheguru. Because my hope is that that experience brought those words to life for you, translated those words for you into something real that you don't just hear or think about, but that you feel in your body. Because you are also the wondrous enlightener. Oh my goodness. I'm so overcome with gratitude. I mean, I'm really grateful to have this experience with you tonight. I'm really grateful to have this experience with you. It was a very important experience for me personally, and I knew it would be, but I hope it was for you too. As you come back, thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you. These places exist. This wasn't a fantasy that you had. This world is so beautiful. This place exists. There are 4 entrances, and you can choose. You can physically go there and have this experience. It's not a myth. And that to me is the deepest magic maybe of this experience tonight. Yeah. Thank you. I'm so glad. I'm glad you were here. So as we release all the spirit guides and ascended masters and ancestors, master teachers, it was the right final journey for this year, wasn't it? It was. It was so divinely guided, you guys. This all came to me in meditation, and it was like, I just knew that it would be like that. And if you get cold, it's because you ran so much energy. Get a blanket, wrap yourself up. It's very common to get cold after a journey. So let's thank and release the guides and the guardians of all of the directions and gateways that we welcomed, releasing the guides and the guardians of the lower world. We thank you for connecting us to power and to the planet, to our ancestors tonight. We release you. Thanking and releasing the guides and the guardians of the middle world. Thank you for really allowing me to feel my connection to my brothers and sisters and to my purpose and passion in this lifetime and why it is what it is. As all that came through for me tonight, I hope it was something of that for you too. Waheguru. And releasing and thanking the guides and the guardians of the upper world, the stellar gateways, the wisdom gateways, the angelic gateways. We release you. Thanking and releasing the guides and the guardians of the spirit element for magic, serendipity, beauty. Thanking and releasing the guides and the guardians of the north for holding us, protecting us, steadying us as we traveled. And thanking and releasing the guides and the guardians of the west for healing and renewal. Thanking and releasing the guides and guardians of the south for strength and transformation. And thanking and releasing the guides and the guardians of the east for opening one door while they close another, for vision and clarity. And together we say, Amen, Aho, and so it is. Waheguru. Ooh. Aw, it's okay. You're all good, Vanya. Sometimes if you feel some pain, Randy, it's because you're in these altered kind of states. You might encounter where you have an energetic blockage and energetically be healing it or pushing through it, which can kind of trigger it and stimulate it. So notice it and see if you can allow the energy of this moment to push past that, where that pain is located. See if it can soften around it. Oh, yeah. Ugh. I'm trying to transition into like talking to you, and that's kind of hard because I'm a little floaty right now. So the blue room may still be your favorite meditation, but I will say the Golden Temple is going to be up there for me. It's going to be up there for me. Yeah. It's going to be up there for me. Oh, very cool. Hillary used 4 crystals, and she's going to gift one to her boyfriend. It was meant for him, she said. I can feel that, right? Do you feel it? Do you feel kind of soft and kind of floaty? Kind of like you're high, but you're not high? It's so nice. Yeah. Very grateful. Let's just be floaty, I know. Let's just be floaty. If you want to stay in the float, I always teach you these things, but that just means don't eat food tonight, right? Don't do the things that ground you. If you go eat a big meal right now, that float will be gone. So you might just want to eat real lightly tonight if you want to stay in that zone, and maybe just take a bath or a shower and curl up in bed, you know? Play Wahe Guru, the version I gave you, Kate Mackenzie. Curl up with a good blanket, light your candle, and yeah. And so the next time I light this candle is going to be to celebrate your graduation next week. Cheers. If you have your candle, look down into it. I don't know if you can see, but the wax looks like the walls of the temple, the way I saw it. So that candle will have a very special meaning for me. Yeah. Yeah, a little floaty. You can stay a little floaty. If you have blue lotus, you can make yourself some tea. Just steep it for 3 or 4 minutes and have a cup of that, or some mugwort tea would be really nice. That'll keep you floaty. A little cannabis, if it's legal where you are, will keep you floaty. Yes, indeed, darling. Oh, I love that. Yeah, I want to hear all the reflections that you want to share. So I'll be in your Facebook group tomorrow looking for that. Just would love to hear what you saw, what you felt, you know what I mean? Because it was so profound for me, and I'm just so curious what you experienced. So Christy, I played a song at the beginning of tonight, that Wahe Guru I was saying, and there's a version of it, and on SoundCloud I have a playlist called Soul Shift, and I saved it there, or you can just go, if you like Spotify better, you can find it. So Kate Mackenzie. Alexis, I think, put the title of the song and the artist and the link to my SoundCloud account. Yeah, I love that. And sometimes the doors just open, right? So it's just, you might have felt automatically called to one particular doorway, or you might have felt like you had a choice, right? I am so proud of you guys. Oh, yeah. Okay. So, I do want to tell you, I didn't talk about next year's programs at the beginning because I'm like, oh, I'll do it at the end. And now I'm like, super floaty. So I hope I remember to tell you everything that I need to tell you. So, and I will leave you with this information about next year. And then, like I said, if you are around and want to reflect and share your experiences, we'll be super excited to read and reflect back to you in our group too. Yeah, Apple Music, I'll have it. If you have an Apple Music account, that's a nice way to do it too. Woo! Kathleen, I can find out if we have it. I don't know, but Alexis and I will find out and let you know. Yeah, I know. Good luck. Honestly, I'm going to sound like I'm going blah, 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 blah. 2022 Soul Shift and Crystal Masters opened for registration today at 11 a.m. So you don't have to rush to register. A lot of you already have. If you do want to be in programs next year, though, you do have to register. So everybody's 2021 membership has already been canceled because there's a new program. So you don't just like continue on. So if you don't do anything, next week is your last class with me, which is sad, but I will understand too if that's your choice. I just want to make sure you know that if you don't register for a new program, next week is our final session of Soul Shift for 2021. So if you want to continue on and stay in the Facebook group and all those things, you have to choose a program before December 31st. And so there's no huge rush, and I will remind you, over the course of the next, how many days is that? 15 days? Like 2 weeks? Yeah. Soul Shift next year is called Oracle, and it's a program that I created to cultivate, like I said, tonight was kind of the segue into that, to help you cultivate your intuitive gifts. It's always bothered me that people only teach 5 intuitive gifts. You're either clairvoyant, clairaudient, clairsentient, claircognizant, clairalient, right? There's like not a lot of gifts. So I've spent the last few months really fleshing out what I believe are the 12 psychic gifts, intuitive gifts, starting with discernment, by the way, which is the first one I'm teaching you in January. My curriculum in January is going to blow your mind. It is a simple concept, but everybody I've taught it to has said, holy shit, once I do this, the whole world looks different. And that is how I'm teaching you what my grandmother told me, who was a minister. My grandmother told me when I was very young that the most important gift I could ever have, a spiritual gift, is discernment. And so I'm starting there as an homage to my grandmother, and then I'm taking you through 12. Each month we're going to unlock a new intuitive gift. We're going to activate it, we're going to practice it, we're going to integrate it. And then, and we're also going to study 12 countries next year, because in Crystal Masters, it's crystals around the world. So we're starting in Tibet, and then we're going to India, and then we're going to Mexico, and then we're going to Africa. And I'm going to be teaching you all about where your crystals come from, how they're mined, what the cultures are like. And then I'm going to be teaching you a stone from that culture. And for the last half of class, I'm going to be teaching you how to work with that stone for crystal healing. Isn't that? Yeah, it's discernment of spirit. It absolutely is, Sylvie Brewster. Soul Shift, you have a choice until the 31st of December. If you want to sign up for the whole year of Soul Shift, like you just know you're in it and you don't want to worry about it, until the 31st of December, you have the annual option. That goes away at midnight on the 31st. After December 31st, you have to sign up for a monthly membership, which is not a terrible thing, but you miss the opportunity to save 2 months of your tuition. So Soul Shift is that right? Yeah, $1,200 for the year, unless you do the annual option, which makes it $1,000 for the year. And you can, there's lots of different ways to pay that, but you have until the 31st to make that choice, right? And then Crystal Masters is $40 a month in 2022, but if you do the annual option, it's $400 for the year, so you save $80 with the annual option. Interestingly enough, most people today have chosen the annual option, but you don't have to, and I certainly am happy to see you enroll in whatever way makes sense for you. Sometimes some people don't want to pay everything up front or put it on a credit card or PayPal credit or whatever you do. The tools are separate. The tools are optional, okay? The one thing I will tell you though is if you want the tools, you should choose those early, because we had to guesstimate how many people are registering, and we've had more people register today than we've had in previous years on the first day. There's a lot of people who are not in programs who are joining. We were waiting for the end of the year. So I hope that we'll have enough. I think we'll have enough. I just can't guarantee it. And so I'm telling you that up front. If you want your tools, you should register for them sooner than later. Okay, they are optional. And my fingers are crossed that everything will work out. It usually does, and there's enough, and we do all those things. You do not need to rejoin the Facebook groups. Here's what happens. On December 31st, my team is taking the registration list and removing people from the Facebook groups who are not on it, right? Because the Facebook groups are part of your membership. And so as long as you sign up for new programs, you will not experience an interruption in your programming, okay? The only thing you'll notice if you don't sign up for new programs is that on January 1st, you're not in the Facebook groups anymore. But again, you have until the 31st. You've already paid for December, so you don't have to do a single thing until midnight on the 31st if you want to be a late bunny. If you're a late kiddo like me and you wait till the very last minute, then you have until midnight on the 31st. That's not how I want to spend my New Year's Eve, signing up for classes, but if that is your choice, I totally respect that. And I did want to take a minute to show you the tools because I did show them earlier, but in case you didn't see. So the party bonus this year is that if you sign up for the annual option, you get 2 free gifts. You know, the program is called the Oracle, right? So this bag we custom designed for you. It says Sage Goddess Soul Shift. It's got a huge middle compartment, like you could fit a child in there. Okay, and then on the back side is room for all your wands. See all the elastic? You can put wider wands here, super wide wands here, thinner wands here. And then on the front, we put a pocket for whatever other magics you want to put in here. You've got another elastic right here, and then you have little pouches for, I don't know, sage or whatever you want to put there. So that is your traveling medicine bag. It is a vegan bag because a lot of my students are vegan. So we don't use natural leather. It upsets people, and I understand that. And then the other free gift you get, whether you sign up for a monthly program or an annual membership, you get Aditone perfume. Aditone is the Greek name for inner sanctum. This was the center of the Oracle at Delphi, where the Pythia, or the priestess, would have her psychic visions and share those visions with people who came to the Oracle. I'm taking you get 2 free classes when you sign up. Okay, one is a guided journey to this place, to Aditone. It's 2 hours. The other is a 2.5 hour class called Athena's Crystal Secrets, brand new pre-recorded classes for you. And I'm going to teach you it's a brain drain of kind of all my best crystal healing tips and secrets. So you're going to get 4 hours of content before class starts. And you'll get those on January 1st. This perfume is your free gift. And so I'd like you to work with this when you do the guided meditation that I'm offering to you. Okay? Well, I don't know. I mean, I don't want you to put a child in here, but I'm just saying you could. A small child. Or perhaps a puppy or a cat. My children won't fit in there anymore, but yours might. What else do I need to tell you? What did I miss, Alexis? I don't know. So if you want to register for classes, you can do it now, you can do it tomorrow, you can do it anytime before the 31st of December. The extra classes are for everyone, but they're only for people who sign up in December. But everyone in Crystal Masters and everyone in Soul Shift gets both of the free classes. And I hope that's okay with you. Crystal Masters does not get the perfume. The perfume is only for Soul Shift, but Crystal Masters does get the class for free. The reason I wanted everybody to have both of their free classes is that experience is something I want all of my students to have had. And the wisdom in the Crystal Secrets class is, again, wisdom I want everybody to have. So regardless of what level you sign up for next year, like all of you are obviously in Soul Shift, but let's say you decide to go from Soul Shift to Crystal Masters, you will still get the free classes as long as you sign up for Crystal Masters by the 31st. The perfume is a free gift for people who do the monthly membership. The perfume and the bag are free gifts for people who do the annual membership. Does that make sense? Now, it's a great question from Terry Romaine. That's why I'm leaving this space tonight to talk about this, because she asked, do we still need to order the tools by the 15th of the month? Starting next month, Terry, yes. So January 15th will be the order date for your February tools. But this month, because, and we did this last year too, I don't know if you remember, when we're starting the program, you actually have to go in and purchase your tools right now, and they are on sagegoddess.com. And I will tell you, like I said earlier, we ordered what we thought would be enough based on this year's enrollment. We've already had more people register today than usually register on the first day. I'm not worried about it, but I'm noticing it because I just wouldn't want you to not get the tools for January if you want them. And I'll show you why this matters. It will be very hard for us to have more tools made. Okay? The tools for Soul Shift, I'm so excited about it. The tools for Soul Shift are this. This is an incredible grid. This is your Oracle grid, okay? It is a replica of mine. If you've seen my master grid in my living room, it's in 2 pieces, okay? My friend who's a woodworker made these for us, for you. It comes like this, and the reason the center comes out is each season I'm gonna have a new piece for you to go in there. So this will be swappy, and then your new middle piece will come, and then the next middle piece will come, or you can just keep this piece in there if you prefer that. It's also plain on the back, so if you don't like the purple and gold, it's a replica of mine, and these are the exact colors of mine, but if you don't like that, you can use it on the plain side too. Okay? Then you're getting this, which is it's an obelisk wand. We had these hand carved. They're like beveled on the edges. It's a huge quartz wand. Every month in your Soul Shift kit, you are getting a little triangular cabochon that looks like that. Okay? We're going to activate these in class, and then each month we're going to attach our stone. By the end of the year, and each one of these represents one of your intuitive gifts, by the end of the year you'll have all 12 stones for all 12 gifts, and then this will be your oracle wand for channeling. Okay? So those are the centerpieces of the grid. What we did this year, remember the perfuming we did tonight? How that's always been a separate thing this year? This year, all of the ingredients to make perfume with me are coming in the kit. Okay? And each month, you're getting a bottle called the name of the country that we're studying. So in January, you get Tibet. We pre-blended this with essential oils from the Tibetan and Himalayan region for you. And then you get 2 separate oils, and we're going to blend them together. Then you get your blending bottle and your label. Then you get your candle poured with the month's oils. Then you get your incense, which has herbs from, again, Tibet, Nepal, the region that we're studying. So the tools are $109. The crazy thing is the retail value of this wand alone is about $90. So for like $10 or $20 more, you're getting the grid, the candle, the perfuming tools, the stone to apply on here as well, and the incense. So it's a great value in the tools, and they will be every month. Now you can can sign up for tools in January, and then if you don't like February, you can cancel. Or you don't have to do tools at all. Tools are optional. Tools optional. The Crystal Masters tools for January, you get a sheet of stickers this year for every country. This is Tibet, because I like stickers, and I know you do too. You can put them on your notes and all kinds of fun things. You are getting an adjustable sterling silver Tibetan quartz bracelet, handmade for us. It will fit everybody. It fits up to, I think, a 10-inch wrist. So I'm going to have to adjust mine down because I've got like a 6.5-inch wrist. So mine will be a little loose on me, but I'd rather it be loose on me and fit everybody. And so I'm going to teach you this year how to work with this as a crystal healing tool. I have 3 different exercises that you can use on the body to activate a healing grid using your bracelet. So it's adornment, and we're going to talk about the left hand and the right hand, the projecting and the receiving, but I'm also going to teach you how to do body gridding and body layouts and body attunements with your bracelet. And then you get a stick of incense from Tibet that we imported so that you can burn your incense and have more of a multi-sensory experience. And you get a little card that tells you all about the stone and the region and all of those things. Isn't that fun? So those are your Soul Shift tools for January and your Crystal Masters tools for January. You can sign up for one or both or none. But the only thing is, I don't know that we're going to be able to have more tools made for January. So that's why I'm just letting you know. My fingers are crossed that if you want them, they will be there. But I would encourage you, if you know you're joining classes and you want the tools, I would encourage you to register for the tools in the next couple of days. Just on the off chance. I'm really excited about next year. So you're getting 4 certificates in Soul Shift. You're being certified by the IPHM this year and 2 additional global certifying bodies. We got 2 more certifications this year. And if you finished Crystal Masters this year or last year, you're going to be a level 2 advanced Crystal Master through our programs. So you will get a different certificate next year that denotes you as a certified advanced Crystal Master, CACM. And I think that's kind of exciting that you'll be able to say you're an advanced crystal healer and you're certified by 3 global certifying bodies in addition to Sage Goddess, and all of those seals will be on your certificates. Yeah, we're even talking about fun things like printing business cards for you and all kinds of fun things. So stay tuned. There's a lot going on behind the scenes to get excited about. So really what's before you right now, like what you have to worry about right now is, are you interested in staying in the program? Do you want to register? You do have to register if you want to stay because we've already canceled your December membership. So you have 2 weeks to sort that out and talk amongst yourselves, talk to your partner, like, hey, should I do one or the other or not? And I'm here if you have any questions. You can always put questions in our Facebook group, and Alexis and I are happy to answer them. Yeah. If you, let's see, some of these questions might be good to post. The technical questions about refunds and things like that might be good to either write into support or post in the Facebook group, so Alexis and I can respond to you there. So the Crystal Masters tools, just like this year, are separate from the Soul Shift tools. They're not one and the same. And the reason is, you got to think about it. There are people in Crystal Masters who are not in Soul Shift. So if there was only one set of tools, that would mean that those people, because I don't give Soul Shift tools to Crystal Masters students. They're not intended for them, and I don't have enough for them. There's more members usually in Crystal Masters than there are in Soul Shift. Although this year, it's different. Most people are signing up for Soul Shift. But I think it's because Soul Shift is 100 and Crystal Masters is 40, and you get 3 times more classes. So I think people are really seeing the value this year of considering the switch to Soul Shift, because they're going to pay $40 for 1 class or $100 for 4. And so there's a clearer distinction, I think, this year. So, but you can definitely just sign up for Crystal Masters. It's going to be a great program. I think you'll really enjoy it. But I have to have 2 separate kits because I have some people in Crystal Masters who are not in Soul Shift. I don't have the rest of the year's tools to show you, unfortunately, but I will show you month by month, just like I've done so far. The tools are all in the process of being made right now. We have, I think, January through April is already manufactured. So month by month, I'll bring those to you and show them to you as well. You do not have to join those certifying bodies. No, you can, but you don't have to. Yeah, you get the seals on your certificate, and you're in a program that's been authorized by them to use that seal. And can I just tell you, that's not a rubber stamp. There's a lot that goes into that. I had to show my diploma and my credentials and my PhD. I had to show the curriculum. We had to show the worksheets. They want to see how much written work you guys are producing. And so we have to show all of that. I have to provide the learning objectives. But honestly, I used to do certification for higher education institutions when I was a professor. This was just as complicated. It took us months to get these additional certifications, but I did it because, and it's an investment on our part too, but I did it because I want you to feel like when you go in front of your colleagues and your coworkers and your family, you know, and you can say, no, this is, I mean, these are major certifying organizations for training and development in holistic health. And they are recognized, and not just in the metaphysical world, but they're recognized all over the world by hospitals and by all different kinds of professional associations too. Yeah. Let's see, will you be getting the shaker bottles? No, this year we're doing the powdered incense in the jar. A little bit more traditional. But I think you'll enjoy it. There's an ingredient in this incense that I imported. It's from the Himalayas. I've never smelled anything like it in my life. This is a really special incense. This is one to hold on to and use very sparingly because I don't have any more of that. We used all of it in there. You're so welcome. Yeah. So there is no abbreviation for alchemy. The thing this year, and Alexis and I were talking about this too, my understanding is that the titles after your name, like CSSH for Crystal Certified Soul Shift Healer and CCM for Certified Crystal Masters, the only reason we can offer the title to you this year is because of the new certification. That's my understanding. Not to say you can't use the letters after your name after this year, but it's official on our end for 2022 because we have these additional certifications. Let's see, somebody is confused. Let me Sharon is talking about soul shift content. Let me see. Can you talk more about the curriculum? You're still confused. Okay. So here is kind of the broad strokes of the curriculum. In a way, the structure is going to remind you of this year, but the classes are becoming 3 hours. Instead of 1 hour of readings and 2 hours of class, they're 3-hour classes now, starting from 3 to 6 p.m. And by the way, all of this is on sagegoddess.com/programs too. So Sharon, if you're still confused after I'm done talking, because maybe I'm floaty and not being clear, you can always go to sagegoddess.com/programs, and there's a lot of written information for you there too that kind of breaks it down. So what I've done, the curriculum this year is I've developed 12 of what I believe are the most important intuitive gifts you can activate. And it includes the basic ones, Sharon, like clairaudience, clairvoyance, clairsentience, they're all in there. But it includes a host of other gifts. Like I said, like January is discernment. I'm also going to be teaching you psychometry and a skill called psychocartography. It's a lot to get into the nuts and bolts of it tonight. But like psychometry is being able to gather wisdom by touching an object. Okay, I've never taught you that before. Psychocartography is about learning to connect to the land and to your ancestry and to discern wisdom from a place just by being in the place, by touching soil from the place, by connecting to architecture from a place. Tonight was an exercise in so many ways of psychocartography. These are skills that I've never developed in you. I've never taught them before, but I believe they are just as important as something like clairvoyance. I'm also redefining clairvoyance. I don't think clairvoyance is just if you see dead people, okay? I think clairvoyance is being able to see clearly the dynamics and circumstances and events of your life. It doesn't necessarily mean seeing something in the room. It can be using your inner vision and not just your outer vision. So I'm redefining. Can you tell me if this is making sense, by the way? Because I'm worried I'm being unclear because we just journeyed. So these are some of the additional gifts that I'm giving you. Yeah, that's exactly right. And then in Crystal Masters, I'm going to be taking you geographically to these countries, okay, and bringing the countries to life for you. And then the crystals for Crystal Masters come from these countries. And each month I'm giving you an oil or an incense or a balm or something scent associated to connect to that country. So the first session is going to be the gift. The second session is going to be the place and the crystals and the actual applying of those crystals to the body. The third session is still going to be a journey, and the fourth session is still going to be a craft, okay? And we're doing some really cool crafts. Can I just give you are you guys okay with time? Session 2, okay, I'm teaching you about psychometry in February. And our craft is actually, what we did is we ordered, it might sound funny to you, it's part of your kit. We ordered stuffed elephants, okay, but they're empty. They've got a little zipper. And then we're sending you all kinds of fabrics and things, and you're going to add your own things to what I'm going to recommend you do. We're giving you little pieces of fabric. I'm going to ask that you send the pieces of fabric to people that you know and love in different places and parts of the world. Have them work with it. They send it back to you, and you put it into your elephant that we're going to craft together at the end of the month. It's going to become like an emotional support animal for you, but it's also going to help you practice psychometry, because when you work with that elephant, it's going to have the energy of your dad or your mom or your cousin or your brother or your childhood home or a country you've always wanted to travel to, right? And so you're going to learn how to feel the energy of the place in a way that I haven't taught you before. So that's an example of how I'm taking this psychic gift on a very high theoretical level, session 1, and then applying it through the crystals and through the crafting. And then in the journey, I'm taking you to each of these countries, through the 12 months, and we're going to have those journey experiences in session 3. I have to tell you, and honestly, I'm not telling you this to get you to register, because if this isn't the right program for you, I would never want you to join it. Truly, I really think that what I do either speaks to people or it doesn't, and I've always trusted that process. I think this is one of the coolest programs I've ever developed. And I've been building curriculum for universities and companies and now for Sage Goddess for all these years. I've never felt quite this excited, because it's everything coming together, and I get to teach you about psychocartography and psychometry and discernment and all of these things that we've just never even talked about before. And then at the end of the year, this is a whole other layer. As we go through, I'm going to give you little quizzes, okay, to kind of discern which are your 3 most potent spiritual gifts, intuitive gifts, okay? And at the end of the year, we're going to build a manifestation blueprint for you, because my argument is I think we manifest through our intuitive gifts, don't you? We manifest by touch or by discernment of what is right for us, or by connecting to the energy of places and people and spaces, or by hearing guidance from our spirit guides. And so you're going to have your own manifestation blueprint at the end of the year. And I'm certifying you as a manifestation guide, because my goal is that you will then take these quizzes and package it up, and you can actually train other people to do this as a teacher, as a guide, as a mentor, right? Once I give you the curriculum, then you can go out, because you're certified, and you can actually do this for people, for clients or for friends or for family. So you're going to be able to have these really quick and easy worksheets and training materials that you can go and share this with other people and help them learn and grow and develop too. Yeah, so it's going to be really exciting. We're basically connecting the psychic gifts, which is the focus of the whole year, these 12 intuitive gifts. But my argument is that's how we manifest. And good manifestors know what their gifts are. And then over the year, you're going to get better at some things, and maybe some things you're I'm not as interested in that, but I really want to dig into this psychocartography thing. I'm all about connection to the land and the elements and the history and the archaeology, and that may be your kind of most profound gift. My hope is that you're going to learn about a gift this year that you didn't even know you had. That's my intention. And that's why I'm saying there's going to be these aha moments in 2022 where you are holy shit. I've been doing this all my life. No one ever said this was a gift. I had no idea. And so, or I never thought I was clairvoyant, but now that she's defining it this way, like I'm totally clairvoyant. I had no idea. So there's going to be a lot of these like I had no idea moments, and so I think it's going to be experiential, it's going to be theoretical, and then it's going to be practical and applied. And you're going to feel all of those elements in the curriculum. And then there is session 4 is called the rabbit hole. For the first time this year, I actually made space in our curriculum just to have those big, intense, deep conversations that everybody always wants to have, but there's never enough time. And so session 4, the second half of session 4 is called rabbit hole. So the first half of session 4 is crafting, and the second half is where do you want to go? And I'm following your lead. The students in the class are going to drive the rabbit hole. I'll come in with ideas of where to go and things to inspire you, but it's going to be like ping pong. We're just going to go wherever you want to go. And I have a feeling that's going to end up being our favorite class. Again, there's going to be a lot of aha moments, drawing connections. So is this helpful? I really hope it is. It's interesting. And you know me, like I get bored. I can't do the same thing. But that's why earlier today, one of you, I can't remember who it was, I was live, said, oh, this sounds like it's going to be just like Pillars of Priestessing, or this sounds like it's just going to be like of light and shadow. And what I want to tell you is this year's curriculum isn't anything I've taught before. It is not. Or, oh, somebody said, oh, manifestation guide, so this is like your manifestation masterclass. No. This is teaching you how to manifest through your intuitive gifts. Manifestation is an output of this. It's not the content. The content is, what are your gifts? Do you know what they are? Can you cultivate them? And then how do you manifest through those gifts? Does that make sense? So it's not a manifestation class, but I'm certifying you as a manifestation guide so that if you want to coach people and train people, you have kind of the paper on the wall that says, yes, these people have certified you to do that. So we're doing coaching and debrief still, but we're doing it as part of class. So it's not necessarily taking the place of it, it's kind of in addition to it. So session 1 at the end of class is soul shift coaching. That's just your chance to ask me questions, I give you answers. Session 2 at the end of class is Crystal Masters coaching. Again, just Q&A live, me and Alexis will be there. Session 3, I'm doing all readings at the end of class. And session 4, the end of class, is rabbit hole. So each week there's a different kind of like hangout space where we will put things together. You can ask questions, and that's how we're going to integrate the learning of the program. So readings are happening, but they are happening during session 3 after the journey. So instead of doing 1 hour every week, I'm doing 2 hours, 90 minutes of them after class, after session 3. Now, when I do the coaching in session 1 and session 2, if somebody wants more of an intuitive answer instead of just a coaching answer, I'm offering to do that. I can still channel during those sessions. So you may end up still getting a reading during session 1 and 2, because if you choose that you'd rather have a channeled answer than just like Athena the teacher answer, I can do that too. Yeah. If you're not there in person, how do you ask questions? Just like you're doing now, Lana. Yeah. And if you don't want to ask your question live, you're going to have the opportunity to submit your questions before class in writing. And then I'm going to go back and forth. I'll take a written question, and then I'll go online. I'll take a written question because some people are shy and they don't want to ask their questions live. You know what I mean? Yeah. Yeah, you're really welcome. Well, thank you for asking for clarification too. Hey, Alexis, do you have clarity on that? Because I've been asked this now several times today about whether the initials after their names is starting next year. That's what I had understood from Claire, is that the initials after the names are coming in 2022 because of the new certifications that we have. Alexis will, if she doesn't know the answer to that now, I'm pretty sure she and Claire have told me that though. So if she doesn't have the answer to that now, we'll get the answer up for that for you. Tanya said, I registered the minute it launched. It was cute. Some of you like had your fingers on the keyboard waiting to do it, which is very sweet. Yeah, unfortunately, I can't start class at 4 because it's 3 hours and I have employees. and their workday ends at 6. But what I would recommend is come from 4 to 6. You know what I mean? And then go back and watch the 3 to 4 hour as a recording. Yeah, unfortunately, we have like work days and things. So this year you're getting certified, obviously, right? Yeah, you're getting certified this year, Rhonda. So you can work as a crystal healer and say that you're certified through Sage Goddess and through IPHM. All of that, you're still certified as a crystal healer this year. But the title, using initials after your name, requires a certain level of certification, which is why we really went to the mat for it, to get it for you guys for this coming year. Now, like I said, is anybody going to catch you and go, oh, you put CCM and you only did this level and not that, and you had certification from here and not there? I mean, I don't think so. But officially, titles come with certain levels of certification, which is why we worked so hard this year. I mean, it's been months, you guys, to get these certifications. Months. So, and I'm so thankful to Team SG because there were a lot of hoops that my team had to jump through to get those, and we're really excited about it. Yeah. So the actually the questions about the certificates and stuff, Alexis is probably more aware of that, whether it's printed or PDF. I can find that out for you for sure, and we can share that information with you in the class or in the Facebook group too. Doing readings for people who can't attend live. Unfortunately, it's really hard to do that. Do you know what I mean? Because and mostly it's because of my schedule, truly, because Sage Goddess, Soul Shift takes, there's 12 hours of actual teaching time a month. And then I would say I spend another 12 to 20 hours a month preparing your classes. And then I still have my full-time job. So it's hard to do more than, it ends up being about 8 hours a week that I spend in my schedule just on Soul Shift and Crystal Masters, a little bit more than that sometimes, and then I'm in your Facebook group for a certain number of hours a week. But the other days each week, there's a lot of other things that go on at SG. I would love to have this be the only thing that I do, but my schedule does kind of pull me in a lot of different directions. So unfortunately, I don't know how many more readings I can do outside of the class structure, but I am going to try to do as many as I can for people. And if you're never able to attend classes live, one of the things we can do, just like asking a question in writing, is you could put your name, in. You could write in just like you're going to ask a question and say, hey, I would love a reading this week, but I can't make it to class live. And I'll do my best to do a reading for you in that way too. Yeah. Rhonda says, I'm confused. I thought that was what we did for 2021 for CM and elemental healing and alchemy. Yeah, I'm not sure I'm understanding, but let me know what your question is. Yeah. So if you did 2021 Crystal Masters, you are now eligible for advanced. So that's different, right? This year was level 1. If you did 2020 or 2021 or both, that's level 1 of Crystal Masters. So Rhonda, you're now eligible for level 2, which is advanced, and that'll be this coming year, and that's because of the certifications. And then alchemy, in alchemy you got 4. This year you got 4 certificates, so you're getting 4 certificates, right? So you're a Soul Shift graduate, you're an alchemist, you're an elemental healer, and a crystal master. This year, you're still going to be a Soul Shift graduate, but you're going to be an oracle and spirit channel, a manifestation guide, and an advanced crystal master. So I'm hoping you see the difference between, oh, you're IC, okay. So IPHM, we did have that certification this year. We have 2 new ones this year, Rhonda, and those bring additional benefits and titles. And that's what I was just talking about, how hard we worked this year to get those additional certifications. And those certifying bodies certify people with titles and all of these additional things that are coming, and our ability to do 2 different levels now of beginner or level 1 and advanced. Okay, does that make sense? So IPHM is this year. This coming year, you have IPHM, and the other 2, we can put that in your Facebook group. It's also on the website. If you go to sagegoddess.com/programs, Alexis, can you assure me that I'm pretty sure that the seals or the names of the organizations are on that site? I'm pretty sure they are. Claire's very thorough, and we're really proud of it. So it's going to be there front and center that we have these certifications. And then Janisa, what I said about the certificates is I'm going to wait for Alexis to respond about PDF versus printed because I'm not sure. But she will know because she and Claire are on top of that. Yeah, so Megan Easton, Janisa, these are the questions, Alexis, that they're asking about printing versus PDF. And I'm gonna leave Alexis to respond about that, because she will know, because she and Claire are working on that. I kind of leave some of those details to them in terms of how they print or deliver the certificates to you guys. So what she just said is details about the certificates and how to receive them will be released soon. But they're beautiful. Your alchemy certificate is totally different from your Soul Shift graduate certificate, which is totally different from your Crystal Master's certificate, which is totally different from your Elemental Healer certificate, which has all of the 5 elemental symbols on it. They're beautiful. You will love them. Yeah. So you can call yourself a crystal healer as of this year. You are a crystal healer through Sage Goddess and IPHM. The only difference is, starting next year, you can put initials after your name because of the new certifications. Does that make sense? Yeah, I know. Some things we just can't tell you tonight because we don't want to tell you one thing, and then you're like, well, you said it was going to be printed, and I would too. And then I'd be like, well, shit. We were wrong. So I don't know. If you can just give us, it's been a lot to kind of get everything launched and ready. And we want to answer all your questions, and you should have those answers, but it's just something we can't give you tonight. I wish I could. I really do. I know, Casey's like, he has so many certificates. He's going to have a new wall for that. I know, but that's a good problem to have. And I love that you get the certificates. It means a lot. I mean, I have my diplomas and certificates and all of that hanging. I'm proud of all of that. And you should be too. You've worked very hard this year. And I'm a professor, you know, like I can attest to how hard you're working, because I used to work my graduate students to the bone. And you guys work as hard as they do. So, yes. Okay, so sagegoddess.com/programs. That was a little dance I was doing today. Sagegoddess.com/programs. Sagegoddess.com/programs is where you go. And that's where you'll sign up for your new program. Again, Crystal Masters or Soul Shift. And you have until the 31st. If you want your tools, though, subscribe early. That's the only caveat, because those wands, I think those wands took 3 months to make. That grid, another 3 months. That bracelet has taken months to make, and I don't know that we'll be able to restock the January tools when they sell out. So you have been told. Okay, good. Yeah, that's helpful. Thank you for that, Alexis. All right, you guys. Well, thank you for staying after. So many of you too. I'm very grateful to that. Yeah. Team SG has worked so hard this year. I'm so grateful. I really, really am. I'm really, really grateful. So thank you for your patience with all of us, and I hope you're excited about the programs. And like I said, if it isn't the right time or opportunity, or it's not interesting for whatever reason to you, I'm still really grateful that you were here this year. I think it's great. I think the alchemy curriculum, at least for me, has been really transformational. I hope you enjoyed every minute. And you're not done with me yet, because we have graduation next Wednesday. I'm going to put on my robe. We're going to do the thing. We've got a ceremony all designed for you. We're so excited about it. So even if you're done as of this year, you're not done yet. So not ready to leave you just yet. We have a little more work to do. All right, you guys. Well, have a great rest of your night. I'm going to go float. I was kind of hoping I'd still feel floaty after telling you all those things, because I had to go kind of left brain there to get it all organized for you. But I'm still in my floaty mode. So I'm going to go rest and enjoy the sweetness of that meditation, and I hope that you do too. So sweet dreams. Pay attention to those dreams tonight. Could be real interesting what comes up for you. And I will look forward to seeing you guys really soon. Have a great rest of your evening, everybody. Class of 21. Your final, your graduation is next week. I'll see you soon, you guys. I'll be in your Facebook group tomorrow. Come tell me about your journey. I want to hear about it.